Welcome to our channel. Today, we're diving into the weird and wonderful world of bacteria. Get ready to be amazed by some of the most bizarre facts about these tiny organisms that play a huge role in our lives. We often think of bacteria as something to be avoided, the cause of infections and illnesses, but the truth is bacteria are incredibly diverse, and they're essential to life on Earth as we know it. First up, we're talking about a bacterium that puts even the toughest action heroes to shame. Meet Deinococcus radiodurans, also known as Conan the Bacterium, though personally I prefer the Terminator of bacteria. This little guy can withstand levels of radiation that would turn you and me into, well, let's just say it wouldn't be pretty. We're talking thousands of times the lethal dose for a human being, but that's not all. Deinococcus radiodurans can also survive extreme dehydration, exposure to toxic chemicals, and even the vacuum of space. It's like the ultimate survivor, and scientists are still trying to figure out exactly how it does it. When we think of bacteria, we usually picture tiny, single-celled organisms that we need a microscope to see. But get ready to have your mind blown because our next contestant is Thiomargarita namibiensis, the largest bacterium ever discovered. This behemoth can grow up to 3/4 of a millimeter in diameter, visible to the naked eye. Unlike most bacteria, Thiomargarita namibiensis stores its nitrates and sulfates in a giant sac that makes up about 98% of its volume. This process plays a crucial role in the global sulfur cycle and helps to regulate the Earth's climate. Let's talk about a bacterium that calls one of the most inhospitable places in our bodies home, our stomachs. Meet Helicobacter pylori, a spiral-shaped bacterium that's not afraid of a little acid. It thrives in the highly acidic environment of our stomachs, which is pretty incredible when you think about it. This bacterium produces an enzyme called urease, which converts urea into ammonia, neutralizing the stomach acid around it. While its resilience is impressive, Helicobacter pylori can also be a bit of a troublemaker, linked to gastritis, peptic ulcers, and even stomach cancer. Most people infected with Helicobacter pylori never actually develop any symptoms, making it a bit of a mystery. Chapter 4. Vibrio fischeri, the Illuminati of the Deep. Dive into the deep sea to meet Vibrio fischeri, a bioluminescent bacterium that's all about that glow-up. It has a fascinating symbiotic relationship with the Hawaiian bobtail squid. The squid provides a safe home, and in return Vibrio fischeri lights up the squid's underside. Chapter 5. Geobacter metallireducens, the electric company of the future. Imagine a world where we could power our homes and devices using bacteria. Meet Geobacter metallireducens, a bacterium that's pushing the boundaries of bioenergy. This remarkable microorganism can generate electricity by breaking down organic waste and metals. Geobacter metallireducens has specialized proteins on its outer surface called cytochromes, which act as conduits for the electrons. Not only can it generate electricity from waste, but it can also help clean up contaminated environments by breaking down harmful pollutants like heavy metals and radioactive waste. Chapter 6. Bdellovibrio bacteriovorus, the microscopic hitman. In the microscopic world, it's a jungle out there. Enter Bdellovibrio bacteriovorus, a predatory bacterium that's earned the nickname the bacterial vampire for its unique and deadly hunting style. This tiny terror preys on other bacteria, invading and consuming them from the inside out. Bdellovibrio bacteriovorus is highly motile, using a single powerful flagellum to propel itself through its environment. Once it's locked onto its prey, it latches on and uses enzymes to drill through the cell wall, creating a cozy little home for itself inside the unsuspecting victim. Chapter 7. Streptococcus mutans, the nemesis of your sweet tooth. We've all been warned about the dangers of sugar, and for good reason. Meet Streptococcus mutans, the bacterium that's public enemy number 1 when it comes to tooth decay. This sneaky little microbe thrives on sugar, fermenting it and producing lactic acid as a byproduct. As Streptococcus mutans feasts on the sugar, it produces a sticky substance called plaque, which helps it to adhere to your teeth and create a protective barrier against saliva and other oral hygiene efforts. Chapter 8. Yersinia pestis, a dark chapter in human history. This is Yersinia pestis, the bacterium responsible for the Black Death, one of the most devastating pandemics in human history. From the 1340s to the 1350s, the Black Death swept through Europe and Asia, killing an estimated 75 to 200 million people. Yersinia pestis is primarily a rodent pathogen, usually spread by fleas that have fed on infected animals like rats. When Yersinia pestis makes the jump to humans, it can cause a range of serious illnesses including bubonic plague, septicemic plague, and pneumonic plague. Thankfully today, the plague is treatable with antibiotics, and outbreaks are relatively rare. Chapter 9. Escherichia coli, friend or foe? E. coli often gets a bad rap. Some strains cause serious food poisoning, but not all E. coli is harmful. Most strains are harmless and beneficial. They help with digestion and protect us. Practice good food safety to avoid harmful strains. Chapter 10. Clostridium botulinum, from deadly toxin to beauty treatment. Meet Clostridium botulinum, the bacterium responsible for producing botulinum toxin, one of the most potent toxins known to science. Just a tiny amount of this neurotoxin can cause botulism, a serious paralytic illness that can be fatal if left untreated. In controlled doses, botulinum toxin can be used for a variety of medical and cosmetic purposes. For example, it's used to treat muscle spasms, excessive sweating, and even migraines. And yes, you guessed it, it's also the main ingredient in Botox, the popular wrinkle-reducing treatment. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed learning about these bizarre bacteria, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more fascinating science content. We've journeyed from the depths of the ocean to the inside of our own bodies, exploring the incredible diversity and strangeness of the bacterial world. From radiation-resistant extremophiles to bioluminescent wonders, predatory microbes to the bacteria responsible for both deadly diseases and life-saving treatments, we've seen that bacteria are anything but boring. See you next time.